It was 7 o'clock in the morning, and in his little house in a little village in Egypt, Cooper was asleep. He was still asleep at 8, at 9, at 10, and at 11 o'clock. Most days, Cooper woke up at about 12. Then his wife usually went to the shop to buy eggs and beans for his breakfast. Cooper was a lucky man because Jack, the shopkeeper, was a good friend and never asked him to pay for his food. But one morning, Jack woke up feeling angry.
I wake up at 6 every morning to work, but Cooper stays in bed all morning doing absolutely nothing. He doesn't work, and I give him free food. That's enough. If he wants more free food, he'll have to do some work for me,
he said to himself. Later that morning, Cooper's wife went into the store at the usual time.
Tell your husband that I can't give him more food for free. I'm building an extra room next to my house. If he helps me carry some large rocks from the quarry, you can get free food,
Jack said.
Oh no,
said Cooper when he heard Jack's words.
Those rocks are too heavy for me to move. How many times should I say, if God wants to give, he'll give. And when he does, he'll push it in through the door. Please, no more talk of work. I don't want to talk about it. How about a nice cup of fresh ginger tea?
After that, Cooper put on his clothes and left the house. Later that morning, Cooper was happily walking up the hill, looking at the clouds in the sky. Suddenly, he heard shouts behind him.
Stop! Stop!
When he turned around, he saw a horse running closer and closer. A man was riding the horse and yelling, but the horse didn't stop. The rider shouted,
Stop!
again, but the horse kept going fast. Now the horse was right in front of Cooper. He jumped towards it, took the horse's reins in his hands, and made it stop. The rider was an old man with long white hair. He got off the horse.
You don't run around all day like other people, but you're there when someone needs you,
he said to Cooper.
You're very kind, but being like this isn't hard. I try to sleep well, eat well, and not worry about things,
replied Cooper.
Well, today you really helped me, and so I want to give you a gift from God,
said the old man.
A gift from God? I don't understand,
said Cooper.
When God gives a gift to somebody, only that person can keep it who God has given it to. Come with me.
Cooper followed him, and they climbed up the hill. There, the old man stopped and showed him a big rock and said,
There are some flowers under that rock. Under the flowers are some chests. In the chests, you'll find the gift from God waiting for you.
Cooper went over to that rock, knelt by it, and lifted it. It moved easily. Then he moved the flowers and found 4 wooden chests underneath. Slowly, Cooper opened one of the chests. Inside, there were hundreds of gold coins. He opened a second chest and then a third. All 4 chests were full of gold coins. Cooper turned to thank the old man, but strangely, he wasn't there anymore. Cooper picked some of the coins and put them in his pocket. Then he closed all 5 chests, covered them with flowers again, and put the rock back. After all this work, he felt tired. He sat down under a tree and fell asleep. When Cooper woke up, he felt hungry. He remembered something about a horse, an old man, and some gold coins.
Did it really happen? Or was it just a dream?
He said to himself. But then he remembered something more important. Lunch. He quickly went down the hill to his house. Suddenly, he heard a clinking sound. He put his hand in his pocket and found gold coins there. That evening, Cooper's wife went back to the shop. She placed the coins in Jack's hand and said,
"My husband has sent you these. We need eggs, lamb, rice, onions, and coffee."
Jack's mouth fell open when he saw the gold coins in his hand.
How did Cooper get so much money?
He asked.
"Come to our house tomorrow afternoon, and he'll tell you."
The wife said. The next day, Cooper told Jack the whole story. He wasn't really sure if it was true.
But Cooper, why didn't you bring all those chests home with you?
He cried.
They were too heavy. I needed horses to carry them, and I don't have any horse. And my friend, how many times have I told you, if God wants to give, he'll give. And when he gives, he'll push it in through the door.
I know. I have some horses. I'll come to your house tonight, and we'll go to this place together. My horses will carry all 4 chests. You'll keep 2 of them, and give the other 2 to me. We'll become rich together. Is it fine?
All right,
said Cooper. He was happy because his wife was cooking a delicious lamb for dinner. Jack went back to his shop, but he began to think.
Why should I share the gold with Cooper? The horses are mine. Without them, Cooper can't do anything. And he don't know how to manage the money. He'll just eat and sleep as usual. But I always have plans for money. I'll build a bigger house.
That night at 10 o'clock, Cooper was asleep. His wife said,
"Husband, wake up. It's already 10 o'clock, and your friend hasn't yet come."
he's probably just late.
said Cooper, and he went back to sleep. An hour later, his wife woke him again.
"Husband, it's midnight, and I'm worried that Jack has decided to keep all the gold for himself."
Midnight? It's too late to go anywhere now. Wife, go back to sleep.
After that, Cooper and his wife slept all through the night without waking up again. While Cooper was sleeping, Jack went up the hill with his horses and his men. He instructed the men to move the rock and look under the flowers. They found the 4 chests.
Open them,
Jack said. But when they opened them, they found no gold coins inside, only lots of stones and dust.
My friend Cooper is laughing at me. He thinks this is funny. Well, I know how to be funny too.
Jack shouted. He instructed his men to put the chests onto the horses, carry them down the hill, and leave all the dirt and stones in front of Cooper's house. They did this and then went back home. The next morning, when Cooper's wife woke up, she couldn't open the door or window.
"Husband, wake up. There's something outside our house, and we can't open the door or the window,"
she said. Cooper got out of bed and tried to push the door, but it didn't open, not even a little bit. He then tried to open the window, and at last it opened a crack. A lot of gold coins came through the crack and fell on the floor.
"Husband, Jack did come last night.
His wife said,
Perhaps,
replied Cooper.
but all this work has made me hungry. How about a nice omelet?
Later that morning, the shopkeeper's mouth fell open for the second time in 2 days. Cooper's wife went to the shop and bought more food and new clothes for herself and Cooper. She put 10 gold coins in front of the shopkeeper.
What happened yesterday? We waited for you until midnight. I was worried when you didn't come. Then this morning, everything came through the door. But you surely gave us more than half.
She said.
It wasn't me.
Jack said quickly.
Of course it was. Who else would leave all those gold coins outside our house?
There was silence. Then Jack said quietly,
Your husband always says that if God wants to give, he'll give. And when he gives, he'll push it in through the door.